Hello and welcome back to Dead October, and today I am going to bring you along for the journey that is my new unstable bomber build. Now the whole premise behind this build is fun and not using the crossbow and not having to do any magical up, down, left, right, BA, select, start, damage boosting procedures for the build. I just wanted to go out, I wanted to use my weapon occasionally, switching to the Gulp because I love this sniper rifle. I don't care if it's not the meta sniper rifle. I just like it a lot, okay? So that's the premise of the build. Just go out, do damage, have fun, that's it. Now, as you can see in mostly all of this footage, I have no food buffs running at all. Well, okay, that's a lie, I do. Occasionally I have jump juice on, and then I have canned meat, or it's not canned meat. It's the one that gives you 10% extra health. HP. That's it. That's all I'm using in all of the footage. No shenanigans, no nothing. Now also, one thing that you will notice, or that I have learned actually, is that the deviants no longer give you a damage boost to normal enemies. It's only on elites, and it is only on bosses. Which is great, because that means we can no longer see any absurdly obnoxious, overly buffed dummy damage. I mean, I'm sure it's out there, it is there, but, you know, you'll be seeing mostly more normal DPS. And I do have footage of some unnatural, unlovingly, unadulterated dummy slaughter, which I'll put in here somewhere. Now, this build also has a serious, oh, that just hurts, doesn't it? Amount of survivability, which I will show here shortly when I defeat the Hound. This guy, if you know, you know. He can one-shot you. I hesitated in here somewhere where I was going to let him shoot me to see if he could, right there. That's when I had the slight thought. If he could still one-shot me, but then I was like, nah, I don't feel like playing sociology major today. I am killing this guy for a second time because I figured somebody was going to give me some, you know, something about him having a little bit of health off earlier in the earlier footage, but because these guys can regain their health back insanely fast, and also thumbnail opportunity. Here, I wanted to show the survivability. I also wanted to show the group damage in here, because we are taking a little bit of debuff, minus 25%, if the enemies are stacked up, because the bombs are hitting clearly more than one enemy. All of this footage is in a hard mode server, and this is a level 4 refinery, in case you were wondering. I don't know what I thought I was getting there. Maybe a broadside of a barn all the way past. Whatever. Shut up. You have no idea what I've been through today. And not much. I haven't done anything. I mean, if you're bored, you can just fast forward through all this. I mean, it's, you know, you can trust my builds. I put out real builds. I shoot really good at shooting the sky as well. There we go. Here's the boss. He's the size of a barn. I should be able to hit him. Here's Trent. This is just for funsies. You know I had to put it in here. And the piece de la resistance. Shadowhound. Now in here, I just wanted you to see that I could pretty much just face tank him and not have to worry about much of anything in here. This is on hard servers, hard mode. I think it does affect the bosses. I'm not sure. I want to say on a novice server, he would have been dispatched immediately. Also, I'm not using any buffs here. I don't even have my deviants out. I just want to show you could just stand here, not take damage, nothing happens to you. I'm gonna shut up. That's it. Let's get into this build. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. You are the best. So damage-wise, this is what you're looking at. I am going to do this though, because that's my cheater thing. so that's the first round, and then after reloading and all that other fun stuff, that's when you start hitting the 50 to 60 range and the 17,000. So this is your full-blown YouTuber cheater, how they do it with a lot of this stuff. And I missed a whole bunch. So again, though, this is all unbuffed, nothing on it, no deviants, no... Oh, we're hitting 60s, so there you go. But again, it's that initial first boost of damage that gets, you know, cut out of most videos, is that first takeout where the whole build is starting to wind up. So there you go. And I'm not standing 2 feet in front of it, and validation, validation, validation. So there's your dummy 65,000 whatever. But again, there's no buffs, there's no anything on it, no nothing other than my HP buff. Alrighty, starting with the weapon, we are going with the Deagle 50 Jaws, or DE 50 Jaws, I don't know, whatever. Everybody always asks what the accessories are, so let's start with there. The muzzle is the standard light break that comes with it. The optic, compact reflex, tactics, laser, whatever, integrated laser sight, magazine, extended mag, of course. And I am using tungsten ammo in all the footage and in everything because I'm rich. I have lots of gunpowder, tons of acid, and I do what I want. But seriously, I'm only in phase 2 right now, and we still have 3 more days, so I should be using steel because, you know, I don't know, whatever. I do what I want, don't question, don't do as I do as I say. Or, yeah, wow, I actually said that right. Now, for the mod that I am using, stop it, don't do that, exit. I am using a Reckless Bomber Talents. For every 1% crit rate, unstable bomber, damage plus 0.5. I honestly don't know what my crit rate is on here. I probably should have looked, but again, the whole premise of this build is point, click, have fun, that's it. As for my attributes, again, it's talents, so elemental blaze, frost, shock, blast damage plus 8%, mag capacity, damage against great ones, and headshot damage reduction, whichever. I don't really care about the last one, but the other perks on there are fabulous. Oh, and cosmetics, you know, did you hit the like button? Because you probably should. And my calibration is a rapid shot, fire rate plus 25%, magazine capacity plus 40, and attack minus 15. And then some elemental damage and some more elemental damage. In a perfect world, I would like to have a crit rate here for these on this, but you know, beggars can lose, but choosers can't win if the winners are always winning and the choosers lose. That's not how that, maybe, I guess that's kind of how that goes. But anyways, and then the weapon is Unstable Bomber. Unstable Bomber is triggered every 4 shots. Critical hits count as 1 shot for the above purpose. After hitting a weak spot, gain explosive elemental damage plus 30% for 8 seconds. Unstable Bomber can crit and has crit rate plus 25%. So lots and lots of damage comes off of that, you know, because that's kind of how it works, right? Also, I did gambling and mine is calibrated to 10 and I have a 3-star because I gambled. First time ever gambling. I don't know. I think it's dumb. You shouldn't gamble. Gambling's bad. There's hotlines for that stuff, you know. As for my secondary weapon, I'm using the SN700 Gulped Lure. I know there is a lot of better bingo sniper rifles out there that are better than this, bingo, but I just love the Gulped Lure. I wanted to have fun with this build. This is fun. I'm having fun. I don't care if you don't like having fun, then don't have fun. This is fun for me. Hitting a weak spot grants a 80% chance to trigger Unstable Bomber. When defeating an enemy, explosion range minus 10% and damage plus 20% for 30 seconds. Up to 5 stacks. Unstable Bomber is guaranteed to deal crit damage with every 1% weak spot damage. Unstable Bomber damage plus 1%. And then for my calibration on here, a rapid shot style, bolt pulling speed plus 50%, reload speed plus 50, attack 10, elemental damage, and elemental damage is what has gotten rolled on it. And as for the mod, I am using a Bombardier Souvenir, so when triggering Unstable Bomber, automatically refill 10% of your magazine, which 10% of this is really, it gives 1 shot back. Accessories, muzzle brake is large brake, optics, large optics, tacticals is the tactical laser sight, magazine, tactical magazine, you know, stuff, things. And again, I'm rich, I do what I want. Tungsten ammo, really shouldn't be using that. I should just use steel ammo, but I don't care. And as for the cosmetics, have you Hit the like. No, we're going with Buzzy Bee, but seriously, you know, hit the like button. Let's go. What's wrong with you? As for my axe, Final Territory Fortress Warfare, I don't really use this a lot. I could, but I don't. There's that, so you can throw that on there as well. And again, with the Gulp Lore, I did gamble, so it's a, you know, tier 3. Go for it. Why not? It was actually quite rather giving, so these are all leveled, but my calibration level on this is only +6, so I suppose I need to get on that. These aren't even unlocked, are they? Because I haven't, yeah. Now, we are using a 4-piece Lone Wolf for this build. So, magazine capacity +10%, crit rate +5%. Get 1 stack of Lone Wolf Shadow with every 2 weapon crit hits. Lone Shadow crit damage +6% for 30 seconds. The effect can stack up to 8 times, but we are using 4-piece for all that extra damage. Increase max Lone Shadow stacks to 10, crit rate +8% for 2 seconds after reloading. Which the whole reloading thing, you're going to see a lot of that. That's part of the build. And as for the mod, on our helmet, we are using First Move Advantage Violent. After reloading, crit rate +10%, crit damage +20% for 2 seconds. This is stacking on top of the Lone Wolf buff as well. And then my mod is crit, let me guess, I'm hungry, right? Yep. And mine is a crit damage +9%, damage against great ones +2.4%, damage against normal enemies, I don't know how that got there, and a mag capacity 2 +2.4. Now, I don't believe I have actually rolled anything on this. I have not. So we're doing this now. Again, all the footage. I'm gonna have to go and re-record all my footage, aren't I? I'm not going to. I'm just gonna leave it in all raw dogged. I shouldn't say that either. Let's do this again. Confirm. Of course you would. How much do we have left? I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right. And as for the mask, we are using Point Detonation Unstable Bomber. When Unstable Bomber hits only one enemy, Unstable Bomber final damage is +25%. Unstable Bomber damage +6%, damage against elites 6%, weapon damage reduction 2.4, nobody cares, and then blast damage. Very, very incredibly well rolled mod, yes. Now you could do a violent here. I'm not even gonna bother trying to find anything. I don't understand why they can't just give me the mods that I want here. Like, I'm using Unstable Bomber. Let me look at Unstable Bomber. If you get a really good violent one, which obviously I haven't, it might be a decent idea to use it, but mine rolled rather well there. As for the chest piece, of course we are using the Shaman Vulture Top. Unfortunately, I did not gamble for this. I am tempted to do a gamble for this, but I already calibrated this to 6, so it's probably just going to sit at where it sits at. Key effects. Unique effect after triggering Unstable Bomber, crit rate +35% for 3 seconds. So obviously that's affecting the weapon and the rest of Lone Wolf and all the stuff working together mechanically and, you know, that stuff and other things. And for the mod, we once again are using Rejuvenating, and they fixed this. Personally, I believe they broke it. But it is actually doing what it says that it is doing now, which is when HP is above 60%, a kill recovers 15% lost hit points. Before, it was giving you hit points underneath 60 as opposed to over it. I wish they would put it back, but it is what it is, and I am using this because it rolled nicely for me with a crit damage +12%, damage against elite enemies. I don't like the normal, whatever, weapon damage +2.4. Now, seeing as how I don't care that much about that now, really, I have kind of been switching back and forth between status damage and some crit damage and stuff, you know, plus crit rate, crit damage. I mean, the damage is really in and out. I mean, it's not, you know, my crit damage is 12 on here, so it is what it is, depending on what you have. I don't really care that much about rejuvenating. The 15% isn't saving me in anything. It isn't saving my life anymore. It's just kind of, it is what it is. And I don't even think it's 15% either. I think it's giving us about 5% on kill. That's what it seems like. I'm going to stop complaining about it. Put it back to what it was. No, stop it. Go away. And as for the pants, we are using Bastille. The internet has won for every build I have built. Everybody yells at me for Bastille, Bastille. And here you have it. So these are giving us an extra overall 10% weapon damage. As for the mod on it, I am using Deadshot Violent. Each crit hit by non-melee weapons grants plus 5% crit damage up to 45%. The effect is removed upon the next reload. This is why I opted for Rapid Shot as opposed to one of the other ones for the consistent reloading. But this way, while we are firing, we are consistently ramping up our shots and our damage on our shots. And then when we reload and this is taken off, we have 2 reload buffs that are happening as this gets restacked up. So again, mechanical, well thought out build. You're welcome. Like, comment, subscribe. Shouldn't miss out. Now I have crit damage plus 9%, weapon damage plus 3.5%, headshot damage reduction, and damage against elite enemies plus 3%. I still have one more roll on there, but you know, it is what it is. And as for the gloves, we will be using Crit Boost Violent, crit rate plus 15%. Mine has crit damage plus 9, damage against great ones plus 3, weapon damage plus 2.4, and magazine capacity plus 12%. Now, for those of you who built my most incredibly amazing shrapnel build, you guys will have a lot of these mods, or should still have a lot of these mods that you can flip over to this build. Now, I know there's the argument between crit boost and what is the other one? Crit amplifier. But I am using the crit boost for the extra 5% crit damage that is vindicated English word salad, making stuff up while I'm switching for Reckless Bomber. So for every 1% crit rate, Unstable Bomber damage 0.5%. So we're getting an extra 2.5% damage on this from that crit rate. Makes sense? Makes sense. What am I missing now? I think we're just on to the boots, aren't we? And as for the boots, we are using Covered Advanced Violent, taking no damage within 4 seconds, grants plus 20% melee weapon and status damage for 30 seconds. The effect resets when the duration ends. And then crit damage plus 9%, damage against normal enemies plus 4%, damage against great ones plus 6%, weapon damage 2.4%. Now, that is pretty much the entirety of the build. Everybody always wants to see these as well, so I will show them. Damage 0, PSI intensity 769, pollution resist, crit rate 20%. I would like to see that get higher if I can. I don't know if you can. I might be able to. I don't know. Crit damage 51%, weak spot damage, no weapon damage bonus 40%, melee damage bonus 20, status damage 20, yada yada. If you want, you can pause, go through, look, pause, bottom, HP. I'm probably hungry, whatever, who knows. So there's all that. Okay, Cradle. Now, this I have been swapping in and out. Master Tactician for Great One bosses damage with Anti-Balance Pistol. Because there are no anomalies at this point in boss fights. So I've been swapping those in and out. Just those two, that's it. First round blast, after reloading, instant damage, power surge, and unstable bomber, plus 25% for 4 seconds. So again, with all the mechanics and the things and the stuff. This is part of the huge amount of survivability advantage barrier. Hitting weak spots or reloading grants a shield equal to 30% or max HP. While the shield is active, weapon damage reduction plus 15% and it goes on cooldown for 30 seconds. This is how, in a lot of the footage that you see, I can just sit there and tank. That and rejuvenating, even though I hate rejuvenating, and I think it should go back the way that it was before for survivability. But this really is, you can just stand there and take it like a man, or a man dressed as a woman in the game, because all of you guys are chicks. It's weird. It's not. I'm kidding. Whatever. Relax. Deviation Master. When a deviation is present, damage against the great ones, bosses, and elites, 25%. I think it is funny. It is so funny to me that they changed this, because now you can't sit there and show us 500,002,992 damage on dummies. And it's funny because I saw somebody sitting there trying to calculate damage. That was hilarious. Tactical combo, weapon damage plus 25 for 4 seconds after switching weapons or reloading. That's why I Love the Gulp lore, and I switch back and forth, so there's that. Then we have series detonation after inflicting unstable bomber damage, and the next unstable bomber damage inflicted on the same target against within 3 seconds is increased by 25%. And then we have status enhancement after hitting a weak spot, status damage plus 25% for 3 seconds. That is also a part of unstable bomber is status damage. I don't know, it's weird. There was one time I read a thing about it and then does other things and then whatever, you know, it's damage plus, and then we have handgun enhancement damage plus 20% when holding pistols or shotguns, reloading 1 ammo from reserve upon defeating an enemy. Now, I would really like to work in somewhere the long range, but I don't. This is kind of necessary. Unless I put a different secondary on and I want to use a sniper. So I am missing out on 20% sniper rifle damage. But I also like playing like an idiot and running in and playing like an idiot. That's why I left this on. So I guess you could swap that out if you don't play like an idiot or want to play like an idiot like me. But I really just wanted a point and click shoot build to have fun with and to party. That was my whole wanting and meaning to do behind this build, was that. Now, as for food and drink, I was using, I don't know, I'm kidding, I wasn't really using anything. Right now I just use what do you got, and some of it I was using the HP boost mostly. I always have jump juice on. I've been down in steak combo like there's no business because it's cheap to make. Same thing with this. And other than that, all the footage, all the everything that you saw me doing, I was not using any buff food, anything. I like to drink a lot of fruit tea, I guess. Yeah, so basically, food-wise, what you got? That's what I've been using with this build. But that is the build. Hopefully you have enjoyed. I know there's a bunch of builds out there like this. I don't know. I don't care. I generally do not watch other people's builds videos. I spend a lot of time on my builds. I go through the mods, I upgrade, I calibrate. I do not move on to the next build immediately. I will be tinkering with this, playing with it, upgraded. You can see how much time and effort I have put in here, especially only being a week and a half into the first season. I've dumped all my resources into here, and in fact, we are going to dump more because I need, son of a bitch. Anyways, thank you all for liking. Oh, look at me. Thank you, past me. Anyways, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you have any suggestions, thoughts, if there are any questions, do me a favor and leave them down below. I will be probably most likely be streaming tonight. If you have questions about the builds, anything else, I'm always here to help. The rest of the community that we are building here are also incredible and very helpful. So if I don't get to your question, most of them will get to your question, and then I will whatever and stuff and things. I have been babbling for far too long. And yeah, that is it. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day because I'll be seeing you 425 mother son of a